The entrance to mysterious Dawson Forest. Once upon a time, there was a blockhouse here, and sentries guarded the way. Hi folks, I'm Mike. I'm here with my enchanting co-conspirator Tam.
Hi folks.
And we are deep in the heart of Dawson Forest on this Saturday morning. Dawson Forest is a 10,000 acre WMA south of Dawsonville, Georgia. People hunt it in season. It's a favorite spot for dirt bike riders and horseback riders. There's a lot of stories associated with Dawson Forest, but that's for another vlog. We'll come back and talk about the mysterious Dawson Forest, but we're here today to explore Dawson Forest's international claim to fame, or infamy. You see, back in the coldest, Dr. Strangelove part of the Cold War, the United States Air Force, along with Lockheed, operated here in Dawson Forest, a top secret research laboratory. Let's show you around. What do you think, folks? Should we go in? While we're here, I thought I'd just go ahead and show you this. Again, Dawson Forest is a wildlife management area, and they have some wetlands. And they have this little building here, so you can watch the ducks and the geese on their layover to Lake Lanier. They probably stop here for a while. Kind of like a Best Western. See, they got the feed out there for them. I can't really see the duck from this distance. Let me see if I can zoom in, catch a glimpse of who's making all that racket out there. Yeah, of course. Climbed up when old Mike zoomed in. Not everybody wants to be on camera. I heard Michael from NTL Vlogs say that, and I guess it also holds true for ducks. The facility's been gone for years, And yet for some reason you still see a surprising number of these signs and barbed wire top fences. Constant sound of gunfire in the distance. Now you'd think after so many years there'd be more information about Air Force Plant 67, but there's not. There's really only been a fraction of documents declassified about this place, which tells you something about it. I won't live long enough to see the documents declassified about this place, but seeing as how they built a huge research complex in the middle of a forest next to a sleepy little town at the time. It had its own roads, it had its own rail line in here. Folks are going to ask questions, so they had to come up with an official account to tell everybody. So what we're basing everything we're saying today on is that official account. We won't go into speculation, we won't go into the conspiracies, and there's a ton of them, and I've heard probably most of them. We'll come back, and when we do that vlog about the mysteries here in Dawson Forest, we'll talk a little bit about the crazy conspiracy theories, some of them ranging from simple leftover Cold War paranoia all the way up to the stuff of horror movies. So we'll come back and do that, but today is just the official account. Lockheed called it the Georgia Nuclear Aircraft Research Laboratory. To the Government Accounting Office, it went by the simple, if not a little ominous sounding name, Air Force Plant 67. And within this building, they operated and did research with an unshielded 10,000 megawatt nuclear reactor. Sealed up pretty tight, welded shut, concrete poured inside. As you can plainly see, they have the hot cell building locked up pretty tight. It's surrounded by several yards of this barbed wire topped fencing, which is a little taller than the backyard fencing I have, so it was specially designed for this purpose. See if I can get you a better view. The building is quite pocked up. In addition to the fact that every opening had steel welded over the top of it. Now, one of the most popular, since we're here at conspiracy theories, involves just how deep the sublevels to this complex go. There are some folks that would have you believe that underneath these ruins is something like the hive below Raccoon City. But we have to stick to the official account. And of course what it says is that there was only one sublevel, that because the reactor was unshielded, you had to shield the folks working with it. Nobody wanted to go home with radiation poisoning. So they had one shielded below ground level. But there's controversy. They did do research into things beyond the nuclear aircraft and the shielding aspect of it, which is what it's really all about in nuclear aircraft. Or the theory behind nuclear aircraft anyway. There's never actually been one. By the time you shield it well enough to protect your crew, and it's too heavy to get up off the ground, isn't it? And what are you going to feed all those folks that's up there in the air for weeks at a time on an airplane? There's only so big you can build one. But still, we'll go with the official version. But you see all these ventilation and viewing areas that lead down to sublevels. They actually, when they left here, they cleaned up pretty well. Of course, that's one thing that all governments excel at, is cleaning up after themselves, if you know what I mean. So they blasted and drilled into the walls of the sublevels and flooded it with the Etowah River. And then those parts they could reach on the top, they poured concrete into. Can't see much from here. I'm sure there's a reason for that. We don't know how many sublevels there are, or were, rather. They're below water and concrete and rebar and steel right now. But there are a lot of deep holes where the ground is sunken in around this facility. Tam, the other day when you were on the phone with Melanie's her sister, I heard you say Dawson Forest was spooky.
It is spooky.
Folks, thank you for coming along with us today to explore Air Force Plant 67, Georgia's Area 51. The thing is, you can come here too. This is a wildlife management area. Anybody can come in, look around. The only notes that I would say are you might want to hurry. They are making more parts of the old complex of the research facility inaccessible. They've shut down roads. They've fenced off some areas that you used to be able to walk right up to. And there's even rumors that they might be flooding the whole area and turning it into a reservoir, which I guess would make things really convenient, wouldn't it? Anyway, we're glad you joined us. We'll come back here and explore some of the spooky stories around the forest. If you want us to, leave some comment. If you like the spooky stuff, Tam and I know all the nooks and crannies up here, and there are some spooky places. We don't mind going to them. We'll come back here, for instance, and we'll give you some of those tales about the forest and maybe some of the conspiracy theories around Air Force Plant 67. Until then, thanks for joining us on this warm, humid Saturday morning. Until next time, bye.
Bye.
Well, that particular waterfowl out there doesn't seem to be particularly bothered by the nearly constant barrage of gunfire. He must know he's protected. He's agreeing. Wouldn't you say? Feeling protected? I'll take that as a yes. Hey folks, I was a mouse click away from uploading the video you just saw as it was, when something about it that was bothering me stuck in my craw enough to convince me if I wanted a good night's sleep, I better go ahead and add a little postscript to the end of it before I published it. After we left the hot cell building the day we filmed this, we got back in our vehicle and we drove down the paved part of the main artery through this forest until we came to a newly installed gate across the road. There was a sign on it that said that the road was now inaccessible to vehicle traffic due to a sinkhole in the road. So my daughter and I got our kit, we got out of the Jeep, we started walking down the road looking for a likely trail off the side to cut off some distance to our destination. I was looking for one that looked safe enough and well used enough for me to feel good about committing to taking my daughter down. I didn't see one. We hiked all the way down to where the paved part of the road turns into a gravel and dirt fire road. We met some folks there hiking back. They had hiked to our destination and ended up taking the road all the way there. A 4-mile trip, 8 miles round trip to get back to where anybody could park a car. They told us that parts of the area were now inaccessible due to fencing that had been put up. So we turned around at that point, started hiking back. We had already discovered something on our little hike that we'd found unsettling enough that we felt weird about it for the rest of the day. We were ready to get out of there. We shot the outro that you saw, kind of hurried through it, that's obvious. We were ready to tap out of Dawson Forest for the day and go home. The reason I bring all this up, why it's important, is when you Google Air Force Plant 67 to make sure that I wasn't making all this up, you're going to come away with some drawings of maps that people have made, perhaps some coordinates telling you where there's some other pieces of ruins out there, and there are. For the most part, all they are is concrete foundations, some rebar, and some crumbling parts of freestanding walls. As far as whole buildings, we showed you the hot cell building, the coolest part of the place anyway. By far the spookiest atmosphere around there. You could see the way Tammy was acting the entire day that we were out there. So it's kind of a cool place to go, and there's a lot of atmosphere at the hot cell building, great photo opportunities. But if you want to go any further than that, now the roads that made it easy to drive right to those places or within sight of those places are now closed. So that way of getting there is out of the question. So that what that leaves you with is hiking the trail system through the forest. That's probably the crux of why I'm shooting this postscript. It's very easy to get turned around in Dawson Forest, even with a satellite GPS. The topography is weird. The main trails are only blazed. There are no signs other than those reminding you that there's no staff out there. And once you step into the forest, you're basically on your own. Some of these ruins are going to be down secondary or tertiary trails in this forest. They are not marked at all. My concern here is, when I'm telling you this, and the whole reason for shooting this is, I wouldn't want somebody to go down there and get turned around and get lost, which is very easy to do. It's happened a bunch of times. It's very easy to get lost in that particular forest. You don't want to be in there after dark. You couldn't pay Tammy enough to be in there after dark. So I'm just adding this to let you know that if you go there, it's not going to be as easy now, nor ever is it likely to be, to get to all the ruins of Air Force Plant 67 as it was when the things you see on Google were published first. A lot of the stuff that's out there is a few years old. This is the most recent information. So I'm telling you this so you won't get out there and get lost or get disappointed. Again, the hot cell building, still pretty cool to go to. Still strange. The atmosphere around it is just weird. And so you'll like it. If you like the weird stuff, you'll like that. So come to Georgia and see it. Just don't be disappointed if you can't get to the whole set of ruins for the complex. Oh, anyway, before I go, I just want to tell you, the reason that Haley and I came away from our little hike down the road disturbed, well, as I said, we hiked it, the paved part of it, which was supposedly closed due to a sinkhole. Guess what? There wasn't any evidence of a sinkhole. Until next time, bye.